Welcome to Semi Easy, guys. Glad to have you on board. Today we're going over monetization, diversifying, and scalability.
Yes. So, Jake and I, we've had the opportunity. I own a couple of offline businesses. Jake and I have had the opportunity to speak to a lot of basically serial entrepreneurs, if you will. And a lot of the information that we preach ourselves and a lot of the information that we get, even from them, it all kind of stems back to the same thing, right? So there's a couple important takeaways from today. And one of the first ones is anything that we're going to do in reference to monetization, in reference to even your business or whatever else, it needs to be scalable. You need to have some sort of rinse and repeat. You need to be able to get the same results over and over and over again. That's where, just a little monetization winds up growing into something absolutely huge and gigantic. So scalability really is one of those things that this is more of like for a little bit of a personal, personal building of your own self within your business and stuff. So anytime we get involved in anything, we have to look at it and say, is it scalable? Can we rinse and repeat this type of this method, if we will? Next thing is diversification, right? So, every business, if you have, you can have a core for your business, but if you don't diversify yourself, and especially you're going to see how important this is when it comes to the monetization of websites. If there's not that diversification, if one thing ends for you, well, then your whole business comes to a screaming halt and your business ends. So we look at diversification as probably one of the most important things that we can do with our own business. And once again, even when we're testing out and monetizing our websites, like for instance, we're going to get into AdSense, we're going to get into a couple of things, we're going to get into affiliate programs and stuff like that. But like if AdSense shuts down your account, what's your plan B option? If the affiliate program decides after a month or two that they're just not going to pay you, does that mean that you don't get your mortgage paid? Does that mean that, you don't get your car payment paid? So it's all about diversification. Basically modularizing your business and having different modules within your business that you can kind of put in, add, take out as needed when they're no longer working, and really creating a nice diverse portfolio. So if one thing takes a hit, you're not taking a hit too seriously across the board. I actually have one of my partners, he's into real estate, big time into real estate. And I always asked him what the hardest part is in reference to getting into real estate. And I always thought that, one of the hardest parts of real estate was getting that second piece of property, right? The first piece of property you own, and then it's getting that second piece of property. And he said, no, actually, that's not the hardest part at all. The hardest part is getting from your first piece of property that you own to your sixth piece of property, because it's a sprint to get there. And I'm kind of looking at him like, what are you talking about? 6 pieces of property? What about just one? He goes, think about it, right? You own your house, he goes, and now you own a second piece of property. And you're doing okay with it for a little while until something happens. He goes, can you afford to swing your mortgage plus the mortgage of that second piece of property that you own? He goes, probably not. But if you have 6 pieces of property and one of them tanks, one of them has an issue, one of them has a tenant that's not paying, well, the other 5, you're spreading your risk. So the other 5 could potentially handle that one piece of property that you're having an issue with. So hence diversification. Hopefully that makes sense. And we discussed this in reference to business automation. We also discussed this with running an SEO business. What is the end game? All right. So when we're looking to go out and we're looking to start making money with our sites, we really have to figure out what is the end game. What are our short, what are our long-term goals? All right. Now, this isn't banter. You're going to see how all of this actually falls into place as we start discussing everything. And this is one of the biggest things that every single time we sit down with somebody who owns a business or is a hardcore entrepreneur, first thing they ask is, what's the end game? What's the exit strategy? How do we get out of this? How are we looking to make our money but be able to walk away from this? So without that, a lot of times you won't even get yourself off the ground. So these are a couple of different ways that we're going to discuss to monetize it. They're not all of them. Obviously, we have a certain amount of time today. We're going to go over the key ones. First one is website leasing. All right, we're obviously firm believers of that. We're probably one of the first ones to market with that because we've been doing it ourselves for a long time. And we're going to discuss the whole website leasing options and what what we do, and explaining how we make our money with the website leasing options, and kind of opening up maybe a couple of different schools of thought on that. AdSense. Once again, you guys know I love AdSense. I think AdSense is one of the greatest passive ways to make income with a website, one of the easiest ways and fastest ways. Affiliate marketing. Once again, somebody else's product with an affiliate code on that URL link. Somebody clicks on the product, they purchase it, boom, you're making money. CPA, cost per action, okay? Little bit different than affiliate marketing because some of the CPAs could just be grabbing an email or grabbing some information, just an information grab, and then they pay you for that. So we'll discuss that as well. Retargeting. There's a couple of really cool things that we can do with retargeting. And we're going to show you how you can use your website as a tool, not only just for yourself, but even for potential clients and stuff like that, as far as retargeting and making a ton of money with retargeting. Wow, that was weird. That one above it, huh? Yeah. Lead generation, right? So, the affiliate marketing, CPA, the lead generation, they're all kind of done the same way, but they're all little different nuances that go with that. And then the very end, site flipping or selling the site or selling the business, right? Which is, I don't care what anybody says, it's a great way to monetize yourself. So with that being said, we're going to jump into website leasing first. We've been doing website leasing for quite some time. First started with a lot of lawyer sites, started with a bunch of different things. And, the whole website leasing thing kind of came onto the scene after I had discussions with people, and they thought it was a great idea, and they kind of pushed it out there for a lot more people in the internet marketing world to see. I don't want to say I'm the first person, but we were definitely the first person with the methods that we were using on and really kind of keeping it unique as far as the website leasing. But once we got into this method, we realized that there was a lot more stuff that we can do. So, a lot of people thought that the double agent plugin was really cool, right? Because it had the little leasing bar option on the bottom and everything else. Now, we'll be the first people to say we thought it was like cool. It was slightly gimmicky, but it was kind of a cool option. But it doesn't lease the website. No. We get a very small percentage of websites that we actually lease out actually come through that leasing bar. The questions we were asking ourselves at the beginning, right? So do we lease out a single page? Do we lease out a category? Do we lease out the whole site? And the answer is really it all depends, right? So a single page we know that we could probably only get a little bit of money for, and the value probably isn't too high for the prospect that's looking for the site based on the methods that we're using as far as the geo-targeting and everything else. Now, if I had a website that was ranking for a main keyword, then yeah, the single page, if I had a website ranking for a real heavy hitting keyword, then that single page lease works great. Even the category, I can give them a broad location, or depending on, once again, on how your site structure is laid out, category is definitely a great option. So we built that in as well. Mm-hmm. When it comes to the whole site, we actually, most of the sites that we build out, we actually build out for clients that are already on board or within our pitch. So when we go out and we actually speak to a customer, that's part of the service offering that we're going to be offering them, is that we're going to build them out a whole traffic funnel and then funnel that whole site to their website. So a lot of the websites that we actually lease out as part of our service offerings right from the beginning, right, part of our core SEO. Yep. So
it's whole site offerings.
Right. And originally that was how our plugin was really designed, was just to be a whole site layover, and then we started to break it down because we realized that there were different needs of either our customers or different things that we wanted to do as well. Yep. But there was a couple of things that Jake and I had done to explore out. Listen, getting a client and the leasing is really great because if the client stops paying you, you can shut off the light switch, unlike traditional SEO. But it actually made us start thinking outside the box as we started to approach different people and they started to approach us. And the question was, what about equity? We actually had a lot of companies that had come to us and they were like, oh, I really want you guys to do our SEO. I'd like you guys to do this. I want you guys to do that. But with the same story of, well, but I really don't have a whole lot of money. I don't really have a whole lot of money to pay you. Well, we had zero problem saying, then what about some equity? We're looking for equity in your company. We're going to drive the traffic. We're going to drive the leads. We're going to drive the consumers to your website, get you views, and you're going to benefit from it. So, you know what? Don't pay us. We'll do the SEO. We're going to take X percentage of your company. We've actually done that in a couple of cases, and it's worked out absolutely awesome.
For all parties involved, too.
Absolutely, because they didn't have the startup capital in order to be able to pay us. Hey, listen, we were willing to put some skin in the game because we knew what we were willing to bring to the table. It doesn't work in every case. Obviously, an existing company that's already bringing in revenue through the door is probably not willing to give you equity of their company because they're looking at it going, well, you're looking to take 15% of what we're already bringing to the table. No, we're not interested in that. But a lot of startup companies that we had faith in said, they thought it was great. Yep. They knew that, if they were at, let's say, a $500,000 a year, amount of business that they thought they could get to, and we knew that we could bring them to 1.5, well, hell, that was worth it for them to give up 10 or 15% because they were going to be making a hell of a lot more money in the long run.
300% more.
So, these are just some of the out of the box concepts that we really should be thinking about. So with website leasing, I mean, at the end of the day, it takes some time to build the website, right? Costs you about, $10 a domain and then a little bit of hosting. Yep. But at the end of the day, if you could get yourself into a company position, let's say we build 10 websites, we have the hosting, so it costs us a couple of $100 throughout the entire year to build out these websites, and we're going to take equity stake in the company. I'll do that any day of the week. And we'll take small percentages of bigger companies to do this. So, once again, just a couple of different ways to look at, things that are already within your arsenal, right? You guys are all on here, so you guys all have double agent. Absolutely zero issue with, leasing out, whether it be a single page, depending on the site that you're building, a category, a whole site, or don't be afraid to ask for equity. If you think that business will work, in reference to the equity, though, you've got to be able to have access to see what's going on. You've got to be able to have access to see the books. You got to set up some structure. There's got to be legal work, legal documents all in place. Otherwise, you're kind of setting yourself up just to get smacked down later on.
Have a bad time.
So, all right, we're going to jump into AdSense, and I absolutely love AdSense. Now, there's a couple of quick tips. Now, for those of you that stuck around or were on the AdSense webinar that we did a while back, we're just going to kind of refresh some of that. We're going to go into a couple of other different things as well. I do want to have like a more advanced AdSense course.
It'll be probably do a full course with different lessons.
It has to be, yeah. All right, so in reference to AdSense, the things that we've actually seen that have increased our AdSense profits dramatically. I mean, I'm talking about click-through rates of anywhere between like 8 to 12%, so we average it out at around 10%. Your dull website design, okay? We use like a 2012 template, no pictures, no nothing.
Nothing distracts the user. Everything's black and flat, a little bit of blue.
Yep. We use AdSense Now, free plugin. We don't use the premium version. We just use AdSense Now. We think that we're actually going to probably create something somewhat close to it at some point that allows to just have a little bit more flexibility. Yep. But AdSense Now is what we use on every single one of our AdSense sites, and it just crushes it over and over again. I'm going to get into what those settings are. Keyword research. So in reference to AdSense, this really isn't monetizing your website because we're really discussing a website that you already have built and you're trying to make money. But in order really to make the money with AdSense, you need to have the proper keyword research done. There's been a lot of people that we've spoken to and they're like, dude, man, AdSense is crushing it, but I'm only making like 12 cents a click. It's going to be a lot of clicks before I really start seeing some serious money. And I'm going to get into what you can also do in reference to tweaking your site. So AdSense channels, for anybody who has AdSense, what we do on our part, just to have an idea of being able to keep track of our monetization, if we build out, let's say, 6 sites for one particular niche, all of that code gets built into one channel. We only use that one channel. We really don't funnel down to which website it is that's making us the money. We look at the niche that's making us the money. You could drill it down to URLs and to sites. We just don't. We use the AdSense channels just for niche only. We actually use the same code on each one of those.
Yeah, Dan, we're going through the slides. I'm not sure why you're stuck on the first one. Maybe try to exit the webinar and come back in. That'll help. All right, let's see.
All right, everybody else is seeing the slides, right?
Yeah, everybody else all right?
Yep. Okay.
See, no, yep, no, yep. All right, first slide for Dave. Yep, not really. From Tim, good. I don't know what's going on. Everybody blames Citrix because this is not us.
All right, in reference to AdSense. Okay. We like to do a lot of A/B testing on our website, so I'm going to get into that a little bit too. If you have AdSense now on your website, do not overlay another page on top of it for a ton of different reasons. Google will detect that you're overlaying on top of AdSense. They do not like it. There were methods that people were using to put overlays on top of ads, and then somebody would click on it, and they would click on the ad it was sort of like an ad, like a click jacking, an ad jacking, if you will. Don't overlay your ads. The other reason is that AdSense will give you a score. Each one of your AdSense accounts will have a score. Well, if you're showing ads and nobody's clicking on it, your score just becomes really shitty. All right, so
your CTR is going to be 0.
The CTR is going to be 0. So if you are playing around with the A/B testing, you don't want to overlay pages that have AdSense on it. Shut the AdSense off, and then you can overlay the pages on top of it. All right, you can retweak a site. We've had sites where we were, after doing our keyword research, we thought we were supposed to be getting $1 a click, $2 a click, and then we started realizing that we were getting 17-cent, 16-cent clicks and everything else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into a couple of things right now, and I'm just going to show you a couple of examples of how you can go ahead, you can retweak the sites, how we set up AdSense now in our site, and everything else, okay?
Just drag that over.
Yeah, I'm just going to drag this over here. All right, so somebody's actually asking a pretty decent question. When building a large SS site, when do you put on AdSense? So basically what we'll do with AdSense is I'll build the site and I'll wait for it to index out a little tiny bit, a couple of days, usually 3 or 4 days, and then I'll start to put the AdSense on there. I give it a little while just to, I don't want Google to all of a sudden start seeing that all these ads are popping up on brand spanking new pages when my dates are different and everything else.
Yep.
So what I do is I allow it to index out a little bit. It doesn't need to index out all the way, but like I said, about maybe 4, 5 days. You can put AdSense on it same day. I've had sites that started making money the same exact day. But as just a standard, I usually wait a couple of days. I don't really know if it makes that much of a difference. I'm going to be very honest with you. I know people that have put up AdSense sites and they started making clicks that day. But once again, I like to play it a little safer and give it a little bit more time. It's really not a big deal on our end, right? So, all right. So let me just go through here real fast. Now, the one thing with the AdSense Now plugin, and you guys can all see my back end, right? You guys can all see the back end of this website. Hopefully, not my back end. All right. So when installing the AdSense Now plugin, it actually does conflict with the Seme Easy plugin. There are plugins that will conflict. Unfortunately, when we wrote the Seme Easy plugin, we couldn't take into account every single plugin that was out there. So plugins do conflict with one another. So when we're going to install AdSense Now, we're actually going to install plugins real fast.
And deactivate.
Yep, we just deactivate Seme Easy.
No, we're not going to be using it anyway because we're not overlaying and showing ads at the same time.
Exactly. I mean, it will have the maps, which is half the reason why we like the, which is half the reason why I like to keep the plugin on, because then the map listings show. But what we'll do is we'll actually shut that off. We actually created another plugin just for maps
we did.
to work with this. But
yeah.
So All right, so what we do then is we activate our AdSense Now, which is already activated. For those of you that don't know, all you do is when you sign up for AdSense, you create your ad. We usually use the large ad box, 336 by 300 or 336, whatever it is. It's a 336 box. Create the ad, put it into the channel, literally copy and paste it, paste it right in here, boom. And then what we do for our ad alignment, which is over here, is we always use the same one.
Yep.
We do left align, we do right align, and then we do center. So what it actually winds up looking like is this. All right, so you can see the ad right here. So the ad actually pushes right into the text area. This is where most eyes wind up going on a website right off the bat. So this ad tends to get the most clicks. If they're scrolling down, there's another one in the on the right-hand side, about the middle of the way down the page. And then
plugin still.
Oh, it is. Okay. And then right here we have
Final ad.
We have the final ad on the bottom. And that's basically it. This is about as boring as a website gets.
The most interesting thing on this site is going to be the green ad.
Yep. And like I said, this is what's actually, I mean, it wasn't really hard. It took us a little while just to stumble into it. And all of a sudden we said, wow, this works. So we figured we'd share it with everybody. All right. So with that being said, now let's say that, okay, I want to go into the tweak. So, we thought that, let's say, reputation, like we're getting ads that are only getting us 12 cent clicks, 15 cent clicks. And what we're realizing is that Google's not really picking up the main keywords that we thought based on going into AdWords and doing some research and stuff like that. So the only way you can do it, especially with the way that we do it, we can't go in and we can't re-edit every single page. It's just, once the site is deployed, once it's out there, it would be too much for us to go in there and try and re-edit each one of the pages. So, simple, all right? All we're going to do is we are going to go to Appearance. We are going to go to Widgets, okay? We are going to create a text widget. And I'm going to put this text widget right in here. And what I'm going to do is, let's say if it wasn't really pulling ads for online reputation management, which is where I wanted those ads to show, then what I would do is I'm going to go right here. I'm going to do online reputation management. I'm going to put that in as my title. All right. And then I'm just going to put 2 or 3 sentences in about the site. So online reputation, online rep source is a guide to...
Guide.
Sorry, my bad on the typing. Your keyboard's different than mine.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, my I and the Y. My Y is where the I is.
Yeah.
Is a guide to help you find the right...
Reputation manager.
Okay, something like that, right? So now all of a sudden I save this. I'm going to go back to the page. I'm going to just refresh real fast. And now all of a sudden I can tweak this because it's going to show up on every single page, all right? And because it's bolded out, because it's a widget sitting here on the page, you can now start to tweak that, okay? So now what you're going to do is you're going to let that sit for a day or two, and you're going to start seeing if those clicks, those cost per clicks start going up. If they don't, you may need to tweak it a little bit more. But this is the simplest way to try and tweak out,
what ads are being displayed to your users.
Absolutely. Because Google, each time it reads your page, it's deciding within milliseconds what content to tee up. And it wants to tee up the content that's going to make them the most money and hence you the most money.
Yeah, they want to serve the high-value ads. They want to get those.
So you just got to give them a reason to. All right, and sometimes that reason is just making sure maybe your keyword density was off slightly, or maybe, when you were doing your research, something was just off slightly. So you could just pop that right in there, and for the most part, you're good to go.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Let me just take a quick look here.
Back to the PowerPoint.
Yep. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some of the questions in reference to AdSense. So I'm not answering AdSense questions at the end.
Yeah,
So
yeah, sure.
all right. So it's kind of glitchy. Let's see the first slide. Okay. How many sites under a single AdSense do you run? 10 to 50 to 100. We haven't had an issue running close to 100.
Yep.
We have multiple AdSense accounts. Shh, don't tell anyone. We got multiple AdSense accounts, but we have zero issue. We've run, I don't know, I mean, I don't keep track exactly, but 80, 90.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Once the page starts taking a little bit longer to load, we'll throw up a new AdSense account.
Yeah.
Same with Cloudflare.
Absolutely. So, if that's the question, I mean, I know that, once again, also diversification when it comes to your AdSense profiles, you want to have multiple accounts. So if one gets shut off,
yep.
and yes, we've had one account get shut off on a site, and we've just slapped the code for the other AdSense account, and nothing ever happened to it.
Yep.
So, for whatever reason, Google doesn't keep that.
They're not keeping.
They're not keeping that data.
They're too big.
So that's kind of cool. All right, somebody's commenting about my nice back end, and I appreciate that. Thanks for noticing. What CPC do you look at when deciding? Okay, this is a great question. What cost per click do you look at in deciding to target that niche or a group of keywords? Notice a lot of bail bonds or mega high CPC. Now, this is one I can tell you. We actually we stay away from mega high CPCs. We don't like to go after. I don't like to go after the mesothelioma lawyers, all that sort of crap, okay? It's one of the fastest ways to get your account banned.
Yeah.
We like to keep our clicks actually very modest. So we like to look for anywhere between $1 to $3, and we love to stay right in that mix. The reason being is you tend to get a ton of them. You got to remember, these mesothelioma lawyers, they may just put in enough for one click for the entire day, because they're not going to be spending that much money on their spends. So they put a daily cap in, and once that daily cap is gone, well, guess what? So are those ads showing up on your websites, or you're going to get really crappy ads showing up on your website. But those people that have $1 to $3 clicks, or even up to $5 clicks, their budget is usually pretty good. So, and once again, the search volume is usually high on that. They brought it down because there is so much volume on it. They want to, so. Yeah, $1 to $5 max, and that is the sweet spot, and we've been able to just crush it with that. We definitely try not to go for those big keywords. It just doesn't work out the way that you would expect it to. And you definitely get on Google's on AdSense's radar, and they have zero problem just shutting down your account. They're worse than Amazon in that respect,
No questions asked.
Do you have a list of some?
I'm not sure what some is. Oh, the plugins that conflict. Do we have a list of plugins that we know conflict?
No, but
they change all the time depending on certain server variables and what versions of what are installed. But it's all, there's too many variables to say this one doesn't work all the time.
I can tell you AdSense now doesn't conflict, but you've got to shut off the Seme plugin to activate it and actually work in it. And then you can turn on the Seme plugin once it's all saved in there, and there's no issues. It works just fine. Okay, can you show that configuration again? Yes.
I already did that earlier. Oh,
you did? Okay. Average AdSense earnings per site per day. Do you earn 2 to 4? About 10. Thereabouts.
$10 a site. We try to do at least 10 sites in a niche, so.
And so it starts to drop down at least a little bit because, but I mean, I would say that we float somewhere between $5 to $15. So, I mean, 10 would be an average, but some sites don't do as well. Sometimes some sites do great. And it all depends. It could be the same exact niche, and one site's doing just much better than another. But the goal is that, I mean, even if we can hit a $5 mark, I'm more than happy with that, right? Because, I mean, when you think about it,
$150 in the month.
Right, that's $150 in the month. So it cost me $10 for the domain name, a little time to build out the website. I mean, you'd find any other product that can give you a return on your money like that. And once again, it's all about scaling at that point.
Yep.
So,
And even if you only made $3 a site or $2 a site, you made $60. You just paid your phone bill.
Absolutely, and once again, it's all about scaling.
Yep.
You know, I know that Dallas Kelso, we spoke originally. He was looking to get into AdSense, and he's just scaling the crap out of it right now. He's actually doing really well.
Awesome.
You know, he expects within 6 to 8 weeks from the time that he started that he's going to be having $50 to $60 days, $70 days, up to $100 days. That's not bad for that time period.
Absolutely. Will the same ads appear on every page? No, it's every time you load the page, you're going to get different ads. So the same ads won't even appear on the same page.
Being recorded? Yes, it's being recorded.
How many sites per Cloudflare account? Unless you're doing something like, you know, 300 sites in the same niche, you could have everything on the same Cloudflare account. Yep. Cloudflare's only got like 102 or 3 different name servers themselves, and you get assigned 2 randomly. So I mean, you want to do the math on it. It's like, you know, there's a low percentage that you'd have both name servers assigned the same on all these sites in the one niche, but I can guarantee you that that Google is not looking at that right now. And as long as they're not, you know, as long as you don't have like 100 to 300 sites in the same niche assigned to the same Cloudflare account, then you're fine. If they're varied, you're fine. You know, if your niches are varied, they're fine. And if you do have that many sites going, then just start up a new Cloudflare account because it takes no time at all.
Hold on one second.
What you trying to do there, man?
So somebody was saying, it says, so if you're building, on landlord sites, I see that you have the same exact title, H1, H2, H3, keyword strings plus city, state, etc. Does that work better? No, we don't.
No.
So I'm not 100% sure. I mean,
we have reputation management
services, online reputation management, online reputation repair,
reputation
management firms.
Those are the H1, H2, H3.
Yeah,
so they're not all the same. Let's see.
So if you're building an SSI, would you recommend AdSense now versus the built-in AdSense shortcode? Yes.
I think it converts better.
It absolutely converts better, and it's much easier to be able to turn on and off. So yeah, I do. Anyway, to dig out the most valuable keywords. Yep, but really don't have time to get through keyword research for AdSense now. That would probably be the more advanced.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go back into the Google Ad Manager and start doing keyword research.
Will 2012 let you change the widget for every page? Yes. So here, I'll just click on this. That widget stays the same. Oh, you're talking about will
allow you to spin it out on page.
Allow this.
You can write some custom code too. I mean, I could write some code you want if you want some widgets to spin out some spin tags on each page, but
yeah, we actually, like I said, but the reason why we're using this widget is just to tweak that site and to push it into those keywords that we want.
And we're not worried about dupe content here. It's a little short site description. It's standard to have some sort of text blob about the site.
Absolutely, absolutely. Do you use AdSense on landlord style sites? Well, yes. Yes, Doug is asking, do you use AdSense on a landlord style site while trying to rent out the pages?
Yes.
Absolutely. And we're going to get into that as well, that you need to keep your website monetized at all times. So I didn't put my AdSense code in here right now because I'm using this as a demo and I don't want anybody to start scrubbing my AdSense codes and everything else.
All they could do is post it on their own sites. It's not like they could get your account blocked or anything.
No, but it could potentially, you know.
I mean, I was joking. They can't get your account flagged.
So, basically, yes. So I would try and lease this site out. I would keep up the AdSense for now, and as I lease out the pages, then I would have to pull out the AdSense.
Good.
And I want the site working for me at all times. With national sites being exact same layout, WP made for AdSense, does Google just ban them when they review them? No, Google's never banned any of our sites after a review. It's not really a made for AdSense. You know, we would get banned if I took this box and I put another box here, which we did originally. I told you.
Yeah, the double box.
The double box up top. Too many ads above the fold is really what Google was looking at, and it was actually an ad, above the fold
violation.
Yeah, above the fold violation, which happened literally about a month after I was
commended for.
After the AdSense team had actually had me get up and give a demonstration of my site. And I showed it to all the people that were there at this AdSense conference, and they were like, wow, it's great, it's converting awesome. and a month later, boom, the site gets penalized. And
I remember I wrote the original CSS for it.
Friggin' ridiculous. Anyway. All right, so let's see. Okay, you either show the same video on a page, say 17,000 times for your AdSense sites, or none. Your AdSense, I'm not following.
Your AdSense site you displayed last week has no videos on, no image, only one small map. It depends on the site, depends on the content we put in when we were building it out. Some sites have images, some sites don't. Some sites have videos.
The ones that
index assault
and the ones that have video is because we decided to hit index assault. So some of those were probably even before we decided to run index assault on the site, or it was just indexing out by itself. So
yep.
You know, let's see. How many ways are there to get an AdSense account? One way, get accepted. That's about it. So you know, you got to basically have a different tax ID number, address, and everything else for each AdSense account that you want to put on.
Yep.
So each LLC that I have, I put one personally, an LLC, a different LLC. That's how we build them out. Should you set up your AdSense account while using a Hide My Ass proxy? We don't. We've never had an issue with that. Do you use any backlinks for these types of AdSense sites? No, we don't. I read that if your account reaches a particular amount per month, they will ban your account. Is this true? There was an AdSense person that came out I want to say a couple months ago and said that, you know, in August, I mean, it was April of 2012 or 2013, I forget which date it was, that like Google came out and just freaking like wrecked a whole bunch of people's sites, and they were told, the employees were supposedly told that anybody who has over X amount just freaking ban their account, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, right? Because these guys are generating revenue for Google as well. And I love conspiracy theories as much as the next guy, I really do. But if they see that you're doing something screwed up, you're going to get your AdSense account banned. If you click on your ads or try and get your buddies to click on your ads and you think you're being smart, you're going to get your shit banned. Just period end. That's just what's going to happen. So, you know, don't click on your ads. Don't try and get other people to click on your ads. Just build the sites and be done with it. All right, let's see. All right, to use index assault. Okay, so you know what, we're going to push forward, and if I didn't get to the question, then we're going to have to come back to it. I just want to make sure that we can keep the ball moving here, because we're
still on the
we're still like on the first or second section. We still have a bunch to go. All right, so affiliate offers. Anybody who's using Double Agent, right, makes affiliate offers really, really, really easy to use. The problem with affiliate offers is this: there are affiliate offer sites, right? So you have like you know, Share a Sale, sites like that offer affiliate, you know, people that are offering affiliate programs, but they manage it, right? And then you have private affiliates, right? So I have Magenta, and I'm running a little private affiliate myself. You're going to get burned on the private affiliates. We did all the time. The affiliate offer sites, some of them are great, but like ClickBank doesn't allow you to put their shit into to the iframe, so that was an issue. Amazon now doesn't allow for you to try and do affiliate programs through Amazon. They don't allow it through an iframe. Mm-hmm. But you know, basically what you want to do is you want to A/B test. We went with a lot of affiliates and then said, you know what, screw it. We're not really making the money here that we wanted to, and we put AdSense on it, and all of a sudden we just started making a shitload of money. And we were actually and it was actually the same person that was running the affiliate ad was now paying us through the AdSense ads. So there was no doubt that they were making sales. There's no question. I mean, we were bringing so much traffic to them and not one sale. It was like, there's no way. So that was one thing. I'm going to get to the site sell section. Maybe I'll throw this in here. We were actually, back in the day, it was really like one of my baby website, right? Like it was the website that I looked at as my baby. I was doing so much in affiliate income with an EDU lead generation company that they actually came to me, and they didn't just come to me, they came to everybody in the vertical. Anybody was on page one, and they said, we're buying you all out. And they actually came, and I'll tell the story towards the end, but That's another way. A lot of these affiliates, you can actually offer to sell them the site, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But we didn't have as much success with the affiliates as we did with AdSense. I love AdSense, right? We're making a ton of money with AdSense. But we did have decent success with, you really had to be the right affiliate product. And we really had to inspect their landing pages and everything else to make sure that they were going to convert properly. A lot of times people don't buy the first time, and some of the affiliates, they don't leave cookies for a long period of time, and so there are ways to get burned there. There are some guys that are making a fortune with affiliates. We make okay money, but go through the larger affiliate sites, and that's basically what I can tell you. Don't go through these private affiliates. You're going to get burned. So the secret code to finding affiliate offers. Jake thinks I'm an asshole for doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to show everybody what my secret is to finding awesome, the correct affiliate. So here, somebody give me a niche that they want to find a great affiliate program in. And yes, I did say that ClickBank does not allow the iframing. The last that we checked, they may have switched back. I don't know, but the last we checked, sleep apnea. Okay, so somebody wrote in sleep apnea.
College degrees. CLDA. But I'll fix it for you.
I hate your freaking keyboard. You move all the fucking keys around. All right, so here we go. So this was the secret code, okay? I put in the keyword and I typed in affiliate program after it. Now, if we want to get really, really slick, we can put that in quotes, okay? And we're going to get completely different, different results. So click the sell or whatever else, okay? So I know that I might have just shot myself in the foot by giving out the secret code on how to find affiliate programs, but it's really not that difficult. Like I said, Google it, or actually, we'll use some of the,
Snowboarding. There's one.
Yeah, snowboarding. So snowboarding. There we go. Wow. Holy crap, we found one. Now, I'm not 100% sure about this one, right? I would actually have to investigate it because I want
5% on all tutorial sales, 5% on balance bar sales, 5% commission on training board sales, a wide range of banners and text links, regular incentives and bonuses, rewards for top performing partners. It looks okay. There's a lot to go through. I'm sure they have a whole resource page. Yes,
right.
They do.
But I want to make sure that it's being managed through somebody other than the site themselves, and it is.
It's managed through OnStar.
Yep. All right. So once again, Max Bounty is very good. We enjoy it. We've used it. But once again, guys, the secret code, right? It's your keyword plus affiliate program.
Just Google it.
All right. Just Google the shit out of it, okay? I know somebody's like, what a fucking asshole. All right. CPA offers, same thing. But now what's great about the CPA offers is that usually somebody doesn't have to actually buy something, all right? Usually it's a matter of them collecting, like you can just have information collected, okay?
Email swipers.
Right. So it's basically, an email capture, just a light information capture. A lot of that in like, EDU leads is all just CPA offers. But there's a lot of other industries, that are looking to just build their lists, and then they're just going to market the crap to that list, and it's worth them 50 cents for the email or $2 for the email, depending on what the niche is and depending on how much their product that they're going to try and push later on. All right. Once again, CPA offers, we do it the easy way. There's a couple of different CPA offer companies that we work with. We find a good solid landing page, one that looks like we can rank within that niche really easily. We slap up a site, we put the CPA offer on there. We give it about a week or two, sometimes a little bit longer as the site's indexing out. But a week or two after we know that the site is indexed out, and if we're not getting the conversions on the CPA offer, we go right into AdSense. AdSense is like always our fallback. After we play with this stuff, and we may go for a little while and and then decide to go back. But once again, with double agent, all right, we don't get fancy. We take their landing page, we put we put that landing page right in it. We don't even create a bit.ly link. We don't do anything. We just slap that affiliate code right into double agent.
Yep.
Okay.
For an affiliate offer, there's no reason not to.
Offer Vault, we use Offer Vault as well. Love it. All right, lead generation. I know that Joe, I think, Joe, you're on the, he's in here, right? Joe's got to be in here. Joe, no. Joe was talking about WP Profit Builder. Once again, we are not an affiliate, but I actually went out and purchased it because I thought that it was going to work perfectly in with exactly what we're doing right now. I want to be able to create lead generation sites, or I should say not lead generation sites, but to be able to create lead generation landing pages that I could just buy one crappy domain, and that every single page was a different offer, you know, or whatever else. I could A/B test, but I could put any leads, you know, it's all just on one website. So I actually love the software, WP Profit Builder. Sean actually did a pretty solid job with it. And once again, we've actually now started playing with lead generation of our own. So there's a couple of different ways to do the lead generation. And I know that Jake is scrolling through.
Bought it, addicted.
Yeah, bought it, addicted. It's sweet. Have you used? Yeah, I answered that. So what are the options in reference to lead generation, right? All right, so these are some of the options, right? We can sell the leads to a lead generation company, and basically it's their form that you're going to actually put on your site, and they're just going to collect it through there. Or they're going to give you the sort of the affiliate page, if you will, your page. You're going to put, you're going to slap that page right into Double Agent, boom, you're done. You could sell it privately. So for instance, if you wanted to, and we've done this before, you can have private arrangements with different people and say, look, for every lead that comes through the door, I'm going to forward it to you, and I'm going to, you know, I'm going to get $10 for the lead. You can actually do what like Lending Tree did, which was you can actually sell that same lead to multiple companies and let them bid on it. You know, once again, it's a little bit more hands-on than where we like to be. It's not as automated and it just can be very time-consuming. And you sure as hell, let me just preface this, you sure as hell do not want to do this in the legal niche. It's one of the fastest ways to be accused of committing a crime. Yeah. You cannot collect leads for lawyers. I don't give a shit what state you're in. If you do it, they will charge you. Almost every state has the law of, you know, where you need to be licensed as a lawyer referral service. Yep. Now,
that's not to say you can't do SEO on behalf of lawyers.
Absolutely.
And traffic funnels for
and
lawyers.
We create the traffic funnels. We actually lease out those pages directly to lawyers, yep. But we will not do any lead generation within that niche. We will not
take your email address. The last thing you need is somebody going to some court judge saying, oh, I tried to get a lawyer through this website, right. And I put in my email address, but he hasn't gotten back to me.
Right. Or all I need is, you know, the prosecution got wind of what my scenario was, because I must have submitted it to these guys. You know, I submitted it through this form, and I told my story, and now all of a sudden other people know what the story is. You don't want to get in the middle of that. And like I said, that's why there are laws in place to make sure that you can't, because you don't have that lawyer, you know, the client confidentiality. So, you know, once again, you can't do it in the legal niche, so don't. We use it to get in the door, okay? Getting in the door, we actually will put skin in the game if we're looking to hit a potential client, and we'll actually create a traffic funnel just looking to get in the door. You know, using those leads and saying, hey, look, you know what, we got 3 or 4 leads in your niche. Here are the leads. Would you consider leasing out the site, or do you want to buy the leads, or whatever the case may be? But it's a great way to get through the door. Look, we were able to generate these leads, you know. We may want to talk about doing some marketing for your company, blah, blah, blah. Once again, it's great to get through the door. I was talking to Frank actually the other day, and Frank gets leads for a site that he had put up a while back. He was like, and I just freaking forgot about it. He goes, and like once a month, he's like, I'll just get somebody that will call me up. He goes, and I'll literally give out the lead to somebody. He's like, just for shits and giggles at that point. But I know Frank well enough. He's gonna try and turn that into something for himself, you know, which he should. Let's see. One-page landing page for list building. Like I said, WP Profit Builder, right? Great for list building. So, you know, the lead generation could just be for yourself to build your own list and then market out something or multiple products within that niche. Doesn't even need to be internet marketing, because guess what? We're kind of tired of getting those emails, right? Other people in different niches, they don't.
Their inboxes don't.
They've never seen anything like it. We were laughing. We actually created a video, right? And we were kind of laughing because it was like the whiteboard video, and everybody in internet marketing sees whiteboard videos all day long. And the person that we showed it to was like, holy crap, this is the coolest video we've ever seen. We put it together in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Or actually, Ben put it together in about 30 minutes. And they were like, wow, this is absolutely amazing. And we started laughing to ourselves. Like, yeah, anybody outside of internet marketing, they've never seen this type of stuff before.
Yeah.
So, once again.
Video FX.
Yeah, it was a Video FX build.
Yeah.
All right, so what I'm going to do is, this is actually something really, really, really interesting, okay? I'm going to let Jake actually handle this for a second.
And it's going to be just a second because retargeting is way too big to go into in depth in this webinar here. There's a lot that goes. No audio. Can everybody hear me? No audio.
No audio.
No audio connection restored. All good. Are we good? We good. We good. Lost sound. No sound. Half sound. Yep. All good.
Okay.
Awesome.
Wow, that was weird.
Yeah. We actually Andy and I are sitting half a foot away from the desk. We haven't touched anything, so I don't know why it stopped, but fat fingers, no, we really haven't touched anything, so it's just Citrix being Citrix. Anyway, I was saying retargeting itself is such a large, not a niche, but such a large topic that we're not going to be able to cover it in depth. We just don't have the time. In fact, we only have 4.5 minutes remaining allotted for the session here. But retargeting on these landlord and double agent style sites is absolutely massive, and if you're not taking advantage of it now for either yourself or your clients, you absolutely should be. The very same way Andrew added in that little text widget for the underlaid page, you very simply go into the same spot and add in your HTML JavaScript code for your retargeting pixel provided to you from the ad provider. Now remember, retargeting is just the name of the method. Each one of the different ad providers, they call it something a little different. So what is it? Google has their remarketing, which is their version of retargeting. Facebook has custom, I can't even remember the name of it, not circles, that's Google Plus, custom audience. So they have custom audience, which allows you to do, the same sort of limited AdWords or Google, Facebook ad targeted campaign. So you're going to want to go and, look through all these, and we'll do another training or probably a full-on course on retargeting. I think.
Have to.
Yeah, for each one of the different providers out there.
But now, and Jake and I were discussing retargeting. We said, well, you could put the pixel right on the site here if they land on it. If you wanted to even reduce that footprint so they're not seeing that retargeting pixel everywhere.
Yeah, you could put the retargeting pixel itself on the page that you're overlaying, that's being overlaid on top of your traffic funnel itself, which is even more natural. And it's a really good way to monetize past the site itself, and you be able to add value to your clients.
So for instance, with lead generation, right? We're trying to do some list building, or we're trying to do something for the client, for our client, for lead generation. You're actually offering them something more, okay? You're not just offering them the potential of the lead generation. You're also offering the ability for them to have their pixels retargeted right through that landing page.
Targeted because of the pixels that you put on that landing page, correct? So you're increasing the value of their AdWords or Facebook ads, or really any digital media advertisement. You're decreasing their cost of customer acquisition and increasing the value of the ads themselves simply by utilizing retargeting. That's pretty much all I have for that. Just a quick overview. If anybody's unsure of how retargeting works, you can post a quick question, but it's pretty self-explanatory. The end user loads it up, stores a little cookie that says, this user visited this page and is now considered interested in this term or this company.
And now your ads are following you everywhere.
Your ads are following you everywhere. And it's happened to all of us. If you don't have an ad blocker installed in your browser, then I'm sure if you visited or did a Google search or got an email for something at some point and then saw it on your Facebook feed or CNN.com, an advertisement for that same exact thing, that was because you were retargeted.
All right. So somebody's saying, so Doug was saying, guessing should do a little better with lead gen sites, since real people will be landing there, correct? I mean, spin copy should make some sense. No, because you can just overlay.
Yeah, you could overlay
that landing page.
Yeah, make a really nice landing page, overlay it on top. Nobody sees the spun out spin text except Googlebot.
That's it. So retargeting, right? So you got Google AdWords, Facebook ads, even Amazon ads.
Coming out.
Amazon ads, you guys should keep your eyes on Amazon ads. Those are going to be pretty wild. All right, so site sell, all right? Exit strategy. Now, Jake and I, we talk about this quite a bit, and we talk about it with even customers of ours and other colleagues and other entrepreneurs that we like to pick their brains and stuff. I'll get back to the story real fast about how I sold one of my first sites.
Yep.
And I had a website, and it was in a great niche. It was in a great vertical. And we were doing so many ads for a college EDU that they actually came to us. And I got the phone call one day, and they said, listen, and I had my account manager there, so it wasn't like we didn't have a relationship. I got a phone call from him and said, listen, would you be interested in selling your site? We're looking to purchase all the sites in that vertical, that anybody who's on page one for these particular keywords. I said, yeah, I'd be more than happy to discuss it. Fine, you're going to get a phone call from this guy, and he'll discuss it with you. So I get a phone call about a half hour later from guy number 2, and he actually says to me, he's like, listen, we're interested in purchasing your website. I said, that's great, okay. And he goes, we'd like to purchase it, and I'll give you the numbers. He goes, we're looking to. And I said, well, make me an offer, because I didn't really even know what the site was worth at that point. I really didn't have a clue. He goes, we'll give you $60,000. And my response on the phone was, I go, 60,000? And I guess I was actually floored. I didn't expect that he was going to offer me that much. But his first take back was that I thought that I was insulted, or he thought I was insulted by the offer. So he goes, the most that we can do is 100. Now, freaking horrible sales guy, right? But I just made $40,000 like that, right? Yep. So I told him, I said, now my tongue's actually hanging out of my mouth. My jaw's kind of hanging wide open. And I'm like, well, we can do the deal. I go, but we got to have this thing closed within 48 hours. And he goes, oh, okay, fine, no problem. I'll get over the contract to you, sign it, get it faxed back to me, and then we'll have as soon as we get it signed, as soon as we get the paperwork signed, we'll get a check out to you within 7 days. And that was it. It was done. Now with sites like Flippa and everything else, you could take your sites, you can flip them really easily, but Flippa is interesting in the respects that, it's always people that are like, they're looking for the dream, right? Like, oh, I want to buy a site that's already making money, and if I invest into this, then I'm good. But there's so many other ways to go. I mean, we've had clients that have said to us, can we buy out the traffic, the organic traffic funnel from you? We've had affiliates that have come to us and said, listen, you know what, we want to just buy the sites out from you right now rather than paying you a continual affiliate. And, if you really think about it, right, I don't know what's going to happen with this site 6 months down the road from now, especially right with the way that Google's working today. My site may be worth a shitload today, and it might get penalized in 3 weeks from now, for all I know, because Google decides to shift.
Yep. Who bought you out?
Quinn Street.
Yep. Quinn Street is the name of the lead gen program.
So, I don't believe that I had a non-disclosure agreement with them. I think I'm good. And it was long enough ago that we really give a shit. Most of those guys aren't even there anymore. So anyway, long story short, like I said, the sites sell, okay? This is where you're going to make some money, okay? Now, if you're building up your website with AdSense, now you're accumulating that money all along, or with an affiliate, you're accumulating that money all along, or with the CPA ad, and that money goes in your pocket, but that money also then justifies the sale, right? So usually a site sale, a normal brick and mortar business is usually 3 years time, 3 years.
3 months?
No, 3 years revenue on a normal brick and mortar business, right? Sometimes it's 5 year, but it's normally 3 year. So whatever your business has made, let's say over the last 3 years, add them all up, and that's basically your number, right? That you're going to sell for. That's kind of standard. I mean, there could be other,
unless you're in like a speculative market, like the tech bubble or real
or unless you had a patent that hadn't been
speculative markets, and then you're bidding on futures, but, right? That doesn't happen with these sites.
So normally with a website, it's normally your revenue times 10 months.
Yep.
So it's a 1 month revenue times, your 1 month revenue times 10. And they usually like to get an average of what that is for the last couple of months. So you couldn't just have like a stellar month of $1,000 and think that you're going to offload it for 10. That's not going to happen. But if you've had a consistent, 800, 900, then 1,000, then yeah, you're probably fine in the zone, 8,000 to 10,000. Now, let me just tell you, it's pretty easy to make those hits. I mean, it's not all that difficult. If you're showing that the site is generating revenue, I mean, once again, it costs you $10 for the domain name, a little bit of time, spin out the site, get it up, start generating some money with it. And like I said, there's an audience out there to purchase it.
Yep.
eBay, one of the fucking stupidest places to try and sell a website, and like you'd be shocked about what people are paying for fucking websites on eBay. Stupid. Flippa people are usually a little bit more educated in reference to the buying model and the buying, metrics. eBay, they're just not. So, once again, the end game, right? So we don't know how long these sites are going to last. I don't know, if the site's going to get penalized next month, 3 months from now, whatever else. Would I rather take that 10 months, put it in my pocket up front without a question?
Do it. You can do it again 4 times.
Absolutely. So we don't really flip a whole lot of sites, but, I know guys that are flipping sites and actually making a halfway decent income with it.
Just off flipping line.
Yeah. $1,000 for a website here that they sold, $2,000, $1,000, $2,000. And we're not talking about these $30,000, $60,000 sales. We're talking about, look, monetizing that website with the end game. So you've made, let's say, you're running this website for 5-6 months. You've made your AdSense money throughout that 5 or 6 months, which is more than paid for everything. So and now you flip it, and now that's all.
You're making $10 a day through AdSense, so you're making $300 a month. Someone gives you an offer for $3,000, $4,000 for the site, or you post it with the offer of $3,000, $4,000 for the site, knowing in the year it'll tend to make somewhere around $5,000, and that's it's a very easy sell. You just offload it.
Okay, so somebody says, maybe a dumb question, but when you overlay the site, the underlying search terms are still driving the traffic. The underlying content is still, yes it's that's what's making that site rank and driving that traffic. That's correct. What crazy, I'm assuming maybe it was what they paid for the site? I don't know.
Yeah, 100,000.
What site do you use to find signups for EDU gen programs? You got a bunch of them out there. You got, let's see, you have Quinn Street. There's a couple of big guys out there. Quinn Street is probably one of the biggest. There is, off the top of my head, I'm just trying to think. There's EDU Jet. There's a bunch. I'll have to look through it. I'll have to take a look. What was the other one? There was a couple that we had actually even spoken to.
Yeah.
College Campus Explorer.
Campus Explorer.
Yeah.
There was also
it says how much
worked with Monster Jobs a little bit.
Actually, one of my sites we were the first.
They made the API just for you.
Yeah. What do you call it? Who the hell was that? That was a job site. God, man, they still fucking pay me. Just goes to show you. Yeah, dude, I'm just.
You just forgot.
I'm just having a memory lapse at this point. But how much does Quinn Street pay per lead? It all depends. It depends what type of lead. I mean, I can tell you that how leads in the EDU niche technically work. The higher the degree, so, master's, doctorate, that sort of stuff pays a hell of a lot more than the bachelor's. Also, the niche. But the problem with the EDU niche, and not that it's a huge problem, but they'll usually cap you. The college has a certain spend. And after that spend is spent, well, then your ads get capped for the rest of the month. Everybody's ad in that network, they're done. Like that college, spent all of our money this month, we're done. And that can happen 15 days into the month.
Yep.
So now you've got your website for 15 days. And usually the EDU, the company that's handling it, your rep from that company, they'll usually send you an email and say, hey, we're capped at this, we're capped at this. So then it's clip on AdSense, and that's the way to do this, and it's constant A/B testing, okay? We test with AdSense and everything else. We test with CPA leads, and then we go back to AdSense, and we like to take a look and see which one we're doing better at. Sometimes, like I said, we'll leave the CPA leads we'll leave the affiliate program up because we want to sell that site to that affiliate, whoever it is, that company. Even if it's a private, I know that one company, man, they're still paying us a fortune in AdSense. They would have bought out that site in a heartbeat. All right, let's see. What about a good ranking SS type site? No money, but lots of first page. So, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Most of our sites that we're doing all of this stuff with are landlord style sites. And we're just testing and A/B testing with whether it be a CPA lead. Like I said, sometimes affiliates, lead gen if it's appropriate, and AdSense. And we figure out, over a month or 2 month period, which one's making us the most money, and then we stick with that for that particular site. So, if you have first page rankings, you should have no problem being able to monetize. That's what this is all about, just giving you different ideas of how to monetize out your site. What level of income range can you expect with 10 AdSense sites per month? $10 per month. Just once again,
I think you're saying it costs you $10 per site per month. If it's 10 AdSense sites and you're making $10 per site per month, then you're making $100 a year. But if it's costing you $10 per site per month, then it's $1,200 in cost per month. It all depends on your niche, though. You can't. I don't know how well you're ranking, what niche you're in, what your traffic volumes look like,
what your keyword cost per clicks are looking like. And it's really, really, really difficult to say.
There's so many variables. Can you do a lending tree concept and sell all the same leads to more than one company, assuming they all know what's going on?
Yes.
As long as they all know. What do you use to manage all your sites, dashboard, style, plugins, updates, etc.? All our sites are abstracted through Instant WP, or not Instant WP, Infinite WP.
Infinite WP.
Infinite WP.
And that keeps all of our plugins, for the most part, up to date.
What video effects program did you talk about earlier?
Video Effects Maker?
Yeah, Video Effects Maker is one of the largest.
Or Video Maker FX?
Video Maker FX, whatever. It was like the best seller ever on JVZoo. It's a great program for what it does. It's a bit limited, but it allows you to throw out great videos in a very short period of time.
Is Quinn Street a good company to work with? Okay, I don't want to bash them. I can tell you that Quinn Street at one point was great. Yes, they were scrubbing leads at one point, but it sort of depended on what your account was. A lot of the people that were claiming that they were scrubbing leads, I questioned where those leads were coming from and how those leads were being generated. So, once again, do they pay on time? Yes, they would pay on time, but you would see leads getting scrubbed. But one person was jumping up and down screaming that they were scrubbing all their leads. How would you know that they were scrubbing the leads unless
you were the one doing them yourself?
Unless you knew that they were getting submitted. They weren't scrubbing them after the fact. Very rarely did I get one scrubbed after the fact, but yeah. So once again, it seemed to. I don't know. When using an affiliate offer or CPA,
you do a banner that will show up on all pages like you have showed with AdSense, or do you have to use DA?
No, we actually use DA because we want that 100% click-through rate. I don't want somebody to have to click on the banner, which is one click, then go to the site, then take an action on the site. I want to reduce the amount of clicks that it takes them to get to that buy button or whatever that action is that they have to take in order for me to get paid.
Yep.
So, that's the reason why DA works so well, is because it cuts out, it's 100% click-through rate.
It's 100% click-through rate. It's almost as if you had AdWords on your site and they just clicked out on the AdWords to go to whatever landing page the company wanted.
Yep.
So, just removing a hop. And I think we caught up with the questions. We're 13 minutes over.
Okay, yeah,
so we have more to go.
No, not really. Like I said, I landed over 6 figures on the first site sell, and I gave you the exact numbers, right? Because I always hate when somebody goes, "Oh, it was 6 figures." No, it was. It was
10,000 with 2 zeros.
No, but literally, it was. When I say 6 figures, I literally just hit 6 figures. It wasn't like, 6 figures can make it sound like $800,000. No, it was. I hit exactly the $100,000 mark, and to be honest with you, it was that was really all because of my reaction on the phone to him. I was actually floored. I was like, 60,000? And that's happened to me like a couple of times, my reaction, and we get something boosted up.
All the Marbles asking a great question. Is it possible to have DA send everyone to the main landing page on the same site, not another site? And the answer is yes. All you have to do is go to Double Agent, or I guess SemEasy from the WP admin dashboard. You go to Double Agent, click on the control panel, and then search for your page or find it in the list, and click the master disable box next to it, and that'll make sure that Double Agent isn't loaded on that page in particular, and then you're free to use that URL in your Double Agent overlay, be it a site-wide URL, a temporary Double Agent, or a on-page, manual override. What else is going on here? Anna, you want to take some?
Sure. It says you have a tutorial on how you build a site using your SemEasy plugin and Double Agent and Index, Assault all together. Site build step by step for the affiliate offers.
There's a bunch of different softwares out there for building out these sites. There's
Surfshaker. There's a couple of other ones.
I know. Spin Rewriter just released a drip feed one. There's tons out there.
There's a bunch of different ways to go about it, but we don't really use our software to build out the sites. We use our software really to monetize it and index out the sites. But I would say probably going to dominating the SERPs would be the best.
Yeah, that's probably the best one.
All right, what's the average conversion rate for you on those EDU leads? My conversion rates were pretty low. My conversion rates were less than 3%.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't hot.
Well, the ads were crap back then, too.
Yeah, they were
really crappy ads.
Like I said, I really don't do a lot with EDU gen leads right now because we just have so much other shit going on. Like I said, I can't do everything anymore, but, there were some days where we'd have like almost a 20% conversion. We'd have some days where it was a 3% conversion. Some days where I got a freaking big fat goose egg. And then there'd be other days where it's a 10% conversion. It really all depends. Once again, those are also A/B tests on where those ads are going, where those ads are showing. If you're doing an overlay, if you're not doing an overlay. So, there's really a lot of variables there.
Yep.
Did you update the Bitly training for Double Agent?
The issue with the 301 or the 302. Yeah, if you're using a Bitly link, just turn off the 302 redirect for now. If you're not using a Bitly link, feel free to turn on the 302. I'm working on that algorithm a little bit, and I'm removing some legacy code from the Double Agent extension as well as working on some stuff with the, the licensing functionality and people's sites getting unlicensed and whatnot. So there are updates in the works that just, there's a million updates for a million different platforms at the same time.
It says, what is it, dominating SERPs? Can you tell me whose product that is? No, it was one of our webinars.
If you go back, it's a premium training webinar. Yeah, it was a
webinar we did. I don't know, if you just go from the homepage, scroll down.
Yeah, on a CPA offer, you don't need to worry about using a Bitly or a 302 redirection. You should just push straight in the naked URL.
Absolutely. Don't give them any reason to be able to try and scrub out that affiliate code.
Yeah, because they're using the affiliate code as a query variable attached to the end of it, query string.
You can use a Bitly on those, but we don't like to. So.
Yeah. How much are we charging for Double Agent site, assuming we rent out the whole site? How long does it take to get rented, and what's your best tactic for getting it rented? Just a rough average.
Okay.
So we usually just don't do just one site. We do the SERP domination of package sites, 7 sites, and we usually charge somewhere around $35 for a low comp niche, upwards of $55,000 to $6,000 for a high comp niche.
Yep. And we'll try and do up to 10 websites. Once again. We also take a look then if one of those happens to be a dud or whatever else. Obviously, we
go in and rebuild it over.
Yeah, but we like to try and give them an overwhelming, presence on the web, so they're like, holy crap, Yeah,
so there's just no doubt in their mind. Can you explain clickjacking DA? Yeah, so it's sort of like a misnomer as opposed to like clickjacking as commonly referred to in the IAM community. You're not like if you put AdWords on your site and you enable clickjacking, it's not like it's going to go and automatically click your AdWords and, you know, you got to worry about your AdWords account getting spammed or blocked or whatever, flagged. What clickjacking does is when you're displaying a site to the user, if like an overlaid site, if they happen to click inside that overlaid site, it's now going to redirect them so that that URL for your target is in their actual browser. So it just redirects them on their action, on their click.
So it works well, like for instance, on a ClickBank, when that will not show into that won't show into the iframe.
Yeah,
if they take any action on that page at all, it will then push them to that.
Correct.
Any advice on how to get approved at Quinn Street? No, we didn't. I didn't have an issue. I mean, I just provided them the information that they were looking for back in the day. I don't remember having any issue with Quinn Street at all.
The low end figure for a full SERP domination package is usually around 35.
Yeah, depending on how many sites we're building on, depending on the niche that we're doing.
Yep. How many pages are your sites that you're talking about on average? They used to be 30,000, but now they're 180,000.
Yeah, but that's without tags.
Without tags, yeah. So once you add tags and categories, we're talking about like 1.6 million pages, 1.8 million pages. Like with 1.8 million unique URLs that rank for various terms per site, and then we do about 10 of them, so about 18 million unique URLs. Audio is gone again. It's saying it's back, so hopefully it's still back. I see the speaker thing or the audio levels going up and down on the microphone.
Do you get those sites up and dominate? It depends. When I say it depends, if we're looking to wow somebody, then yeah. I mean, listen, we're willing to put the time in and the couple of dollars that it costs to get it done. We have our software, we have our employees, they're here anyway. But if we know that, for instance, there is, like, if we're gonna do a niche attack and we're actually gonna go through a handful of people within that one niche, then yeah, we'll build out the sites. It's a lot easier to get somebody to close on, you know, hey, we have it right now, and if you're not interested, I'm going to X, Y, and Z after you. Mm-hmm. But a lot of those, you know, what we do is we just show examples of other niches, and then
our work speaks for itself.
And then they'll just like, yes, please do it for me. So, and once again, it's just one of our core service offerings. So yeah, it all depends. There are times that we'll build that ahead of time, and then there are times that, you know, we just wait to see what comes through the door first.
Yep. How many pages? Oh, we already went over that. How do you build a 180,000 page site? I build it with this awesome algorithm I wrote, and I hired some awesome coders from California, some friends of mine, to put it into action. And it's a completely scalable application based off of Rescue. And it spins up DigitalOcean build servers as needed to, you know, deal with load capacity, and it's a completely auto-scalable system that essentially takes about. Oh, so now you're asking how long does it take to make 180,000? It takes about 10 minutes.
That's deployed.
Yeah, 10 minutes from hitting the API to full site deployment. It automatically buys the domain name, sets the name servers, configures Cloudflare, points the IP address, and pops the site out. Will we be selling this in the future? Maybe in some way, shape, or form, maybe not. How many tags do we usually use? We usually use about 8 tags. I did 17K in 5 minutes today. Well, you know, if you're doing that locally or you're doing that up in the cloud, that's still pretty damn good. On a brand new site, do you change the dates even though it's brand new? Yes. we always fudge the dates up. How many tags? I already went over.
Okay, AdSense on PBNs. Somebody was asking. Do not put AdSense on your PBNs.
Yeah, no. Don't put AdSense on your PBNs. If you look through the Google patents, you'll see that every time your page is loaded with AdSense on it, Google's actually doing a quick scan of your page itself, and it's getting re-hit by Googlebot. So it's doing on-site analysis. So the last thing you want is your freaking PBN to be constantly being scanned. They use the same exact patents and back-end system that they use for Google Webmaster Tools to analyze their to do the analytics for their ad delivery platform. So You know, if you're putting AdWords on your PBN, you might as well be putting Google Analytics on your PBN. Or how many pages do we run II on a new site? It depends on the site, really. We do it full blast if it's on one of our servers. We do it full blast, and we get everything. If it's going to be on like your VPS or a shared account, I'd say if it's on a shared box, I say 100. If it's going to be on your VPS that you're paying $20, $30, $40, $50 a month for, maybe do like 1,000 to 5,000 tops. Yeah, and if you got a nice dedicated box or a really good VPS or something, then try full blast. Hopefully you don't DDoS yourself.
Any word on landlord beta?
Landlord beta, yeah. I think we wanted to have that ready next week, but there's just so much stuff. It's hard to give a hard timeline. But yeah, I think today is Thursday the 9th. I'm hoping. Well, we have another meeting with our team on the 11th and then the 12th. And then we have Monday's a holiday, and we have a meeting on the 14th. So let's aim for this time next week, 16th at 3:30 p.m. October 16th, 3:30 p.m.
Got it.
And Ben's putting it on the calendar right now. What is the key? What are we on? How many pages? What was the dominating the SERPs? That was a premium hangout that we had a few weeks ago. Yeah, the key for building out the sites that quickly is we don't use SERP the SERP shaker. SERP shaker is not, you know, the way it uses some code and some functions provided by WordPress, and they're cool. It's a PHP script. There's certain bottlenecks and overheads in the way it's written, and the way WordPress works. Ours doesn't run inside WordPress. It doesn't run on our local computer. There's nothing. We can't add more RAM or more processing power at it to make it run faster. It's the algorithm I developed is baller. I don't know how else to put it. I made a really good algorithm. And put it into a Rails app, and it runs really, really, really fast. Let's see. I want one. So lots of people.
When you run index assault, how do you limit the number of sites? I guess how do you limit the number of pages, right?
How do you limit the number of sites that you want spiders to key in on? Yeah, so all you do is you change that number from 0 to whatever number you want it to be limited to. And that'll, I guess, Andy, you could show them.
I don't even know if okay, hold on 1 second.
Install plugins. Let's activate it. All right.
So you could do a nuclear strike, you could do a name assist, you could put in, let's say, here. Reputation management. I click on next.
I'll put it full power.
I can go full power. I can do next.
Limit it to 10.
So, yeah, number of entries. Let's say, well, let's do 10.
Yep.
All right. So now I do TAC.
This is running the older version.
Yeah,
it doesn't have the update. You should have pulled down the update before we did it. That way we could have seen which step it was on.
Whatever.
Now we gotta wait. We got no updates. Right now it's pulling in all the video data from YouTube, which is why this step takes a little bit longer. Transferring data. All right. First step's done. Second step's done. And if we go and we, you can't see it because the button's not here. It's on the newer version. But if we go over to the battle report and check it out, there should only be 10 sites in the sitemap. You could click View Sitemap and show them all out in the tag form. But 2, 3, 4, 8, 10. 10 sites. And seeing that the pages I build out with certain errors, we let the obnoxious truck go past. How many pages should we put on there on a 60,000 page site? It depends on your server speed.
Yeah. I mean, once the spiders get in, they start ripping around through your site. They're gonna find all the pages. So I mean, it's really just to get the spiders going.
Yep. No, you're not going to need to disable any plugins. It creates the sitemap at a different address. On AdSense, do you remove your videos when you're indexed? No, we leave them on the page, and it's included with the proper video meta code. Let's see. I'm seeing that pages I build with SERP Shaker and then blast with Index Assault are not being indexed. You gotta A, give it some time, and B, if it's a low quality site, then Google will treat it as a low quality site. So.
The other thing is you want to check the domain history. You want to see if the site's been indexed before. And the other thing is you want to make sure that those videos, we had a lot of people that were putting in stuff saying, oh, my site's not indexing out. And the problem was that the videos weren't actually showing up on the pages. Googlebot will hit the site. If it's not seeing the videos on the pages, they're out of there. There are a lot of indexing software that, they fake a sitemap. Easiest way to get your website penalized right out of the gate.
Yep.
So if the videos aren't there, I wouldn't be pinging it out with a video sitemap.
Is the process outsourced? It probably was a long time ago. We just bought it.
Building algorithm 100K page. No.
Oh wait, no, I was reading a question down. Let's talk about building algorithm and site design. Top 10 makes me feel like I'm doing things completely wrong, buying articles and building 5 to 10 pages for a local site. You're not. Andrew.
That's how we started. I actually started going county by county, and I wasn't even trying to get the internal towns. I was targeting a specific lawyer with the county name. So it was like, Suffolk County, it would be Suffolk County lawyer, and then all my internal pages would be Suffolk County personal injury lawyer, Suffolk County divorce lawyer, Suffolk County, criminal lawyer, Suffolk County
DUI lawyer,
right, all that shit.
Lawyer,
so,
blah, blah, blah.
And no, we actually had new, unique content for every single one of those pages.
Yep.
Yeah, and they did rank well until I realized that Google didn't give a shit, and I was actually spending a lot of money that I didn't need to. And then I went back in there and I changed it up. But the question is, are you doing it wrong? No, you're not doing it wrong. Could you do it cheaper? Yes.
Yeah, but you're not doing it wrong. Okay. How do we get such a big database? We bought it. That's it. Did the Google update Skyfall hit any of the SERP landlord sites? And the answer is no, it did not. And if you guys were around for the chat a few days back, I actually we had a cool little chat. A few guys who were on SemeEasy at the time, where we were tearing through some of Google's patents, and I actually located where Skyfall is in the patents. So Skyfall was just a modification of Google's black hat backlink detector. That's what they call it. Do a Google search for Google patent black hat, and you'll find exactly what I was looking at. And we're going to be doing. Andrew and I have talked about it pretty extensively. There's a lot of great feedback we got from our patent expose there. So we're going to start doing some more patents.
We're going to be going over. Right. I mean, we're going to be pulling out the ones that we feel are the most critical, but what we've also found is that a lot of these patents, they cross over from one to another.
Yep. So we want to take them out, break them down, go patent by patent, and then each lesson will hopefully lead into the next, which will lead into the next, and they'll all interlink just like a good landlord site. Now, I mean,
somebody might say, oh, it sounds a little technical. If you can sit down, first of all, I can guarantee you that 99% of all people that do SEO have never read a Google patent, period. When we go in, when we sit down with a client, they go, well, I know that this, or, even if you're having a little bit of a banter with another SEO, and they're like, well, if you do this, that's a violation of the Google's terms of service, and they've never read the Google's terms of service. Or if you do this, Google doesn't like it, or Google likes this. Well, you know what? How the fuck do you know anything unless you've actually read the patent? Unless you've gone through and you actually, and not even just read it, but actually understand it, because reading those patents can be sort of like reading.
They're mindfuck.
Yeah, they are. So what we're going to do is we are going to go in there and we are going to make you guys basically like a Reader's Digest version of what each one of those patents are, what it does, why it does what it does, and why you should be doing certain things that you're doing, and why you shouldn't be doing other things.
Yep. And so the very fact that sites did not have backlinks helped avoid the last update.
Absolutely.
Yep. The last update was just a modification of the black hat backlink detector. What's this? For setting up landlord site.
Actually, somebody did it. They posted it in the forum.
Yeah, somebody did post that in the forum, Darren. It's in there.
Yeah,
simple patents. Yeah, it's we're gonna have a patent week, and at the end of patent week, we're gonna sell you all of Google's patents. $499. I'm calling it
Google Patent Buster
V2.
Awesomeness V4. I'm going to come out with mine 2 days after yours, and I'm going to call it V4. You can call yours V2, but mine's going to be twice as good.
Do you guys build backlinks to serve landlord sites? No. Straight up, no, we don't. Did you ever answer this? Where do you cover landlord sites? Landlord sites are covered all over SemeEasy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of in a weird period right now as we're shut down landlord and slowly reopening it. I think there's a few people who are inside of it right now that are waiting on some sites. We're just trying to connect everything on the back end here. Yeah. So when we do open it again, we don't have the problems we had the first time around where we had 50 people all submitting 3-4 site requests a piece, and then there's only 24 hours in a day, and we're working 18, 19 of them trying to build sites around the clock. It just doesn't work.
And the other thing was the reason why we were waiting on some of them. If anybody's still waiting on the site build, it's also because we were hoping to give you the 180,000 versus the 30,000 build. So if you're waiting, we understand. Trust me. If I push Jake any further, he's going to turn around and punch me in the fucking nose. So. Trust me, it's being worked on diligently, and we will get it for you, and then we will, and like I said, we always try to do the right thing, so it's not like...
Yep. Is there a critical mass of pages where sites seem to rank more effectively? Yes, and that number floats based off of what niche you're in, but yes, absolutely. And then Brian's asking, okay, so they are all sites you build. The landlord, yes, we build all those sites. Do we own them or are they rented? They're monthly rented, hence the name landlord. And then it's almost like we're the owners of the property, and then you're the leasing agent going out to release them.
Yep.
So that's sort of where the landlord name came from. A lot better than a slumlord.
Yeah.
Do you have an automated system for generating content for these pages? If so, what is it? Yeah, it's called VAs. They cost about $10 a week, if that, and they do all the work for us. Do you use Spun Article for SERP landlord sites? Yes, we go into that pretty extensively and are dominating in the SERPs Hangout. And our PBN
free content.
Yeah, our PBNs for cheap, or cheap PBNs, or PBNs done the right way, whatever the hell we called it. It's all filled in there.
V2.
But none of you have access to it until you pay me an extra $40 because I said so. All right. Well, questions. That's
it.
Yep. We've had about 30 minutes of questions now. We need how to hire a good VA and where to find them. That was covered in our automation.
Not really in depth, not great, but
we could do more.
Onlinejobs.ph, John Jonas. We do a lot of our hiring right out of the Philippines, and then we actually hired people that were almost our human resources guys over there. They would find us good guys.
Yep.
So
no, Doug, thank you. Appreciate you guys sticking around. Said it was going to be an hour, and now we're pushing closer to 2 than any. So it's almost time for us to get out of here. Well, it was time for us to get out of here a long time ago. It's almost time for you guys to go back to SEO and making money. So thank you. First webinar, very impressed. Awesome. Glad to have you on board. I see you. Actually, I was looking at your profile earlier because you had posted something in some chat. Glad you could make it, Brian. And thank you, everybody who came in and gave us your time today. Great webinar. Have a good one.